My boobs have got ridiculous this last week, so I don't think this is going to last. Let me see what front of my back looks like, but it looks horrendous. How funny. I'm turn to the side. Anyway, but yeah. It's not the worst. Hello, it is Monday. Monday has come back round again and we are in the gooch of Christmas. It's the 29th of December. I did a check-in this morning. Because that's what Amy asked for, either the 29th or the 30th, just to catch up over Christmas. My weight is sitting around 84. I feel like I have popped in the last week and baby is growing, so I'm not too fixated on my weight at the moment, but more my composition. My boobs are enormous and I'm not unhappy with how I'm looking. It is what it is at the moment. I trained upper and it was okay. I am starting to feel a little bit of a drop. I don't know whether it's just recovering from illness and just today only, but I felt a little bit of a drop off in strength in my upper and I was like, oh, someone warned me about this with like shoulder pressing and stuff. And I really don't want that to happen for a good while yet, but if it's happening, it's happening. I can't control it. So we did that, and then we've actually been at the vets with Maggie today. So Maggie's tail, she's suffering from happy tail syndrome, we have since found, and her tail just keeps on splitting open because she's so happy all the time and keeps whacking it on everything. It just keeps on bleeding. It's reopened a few times this week, so we took it to the vets to have a look at it. They've given us some anti-inflammatories, some antibiotics, and we're just going to work through those. I've got a whole ream of foam insulation coming to kind of protect our door frames, because that seems to be what she wags on the most, and that is what is making it split. So I've bought that. I've bought a bandage that attaches to a collar and looks a little bit like some bondage gear. She can do what she wants, not kink shaming. And I posted on Instagram for just some helpful advice for anyone that's also had this, because they did say at the vets that if it doesn't improve, then we might have to think about docking her tail, and I don't want to do that if I can help it. The amount of people that have messaged me though and been like, yeah, I've known quite a few dogs have that and they've had to have their tails docked. It's not what I asked for. I asked for advice on if anyone's had it and managed to heal it, not the thing that's the worst case scenario. But Instagram's weird. So we've just been trying to wrap her up and make sure that it's kept clean and we avoid the worst case scenario. But the week has started off quite well. Amy's really happy with my check-in. I couldn't really want for any more, really. I'm gonna get on with the rest of my steps. I've got 4,000 to do. I'm gonna do them on the treadmill because it's already dark and a little bit later than I would have liked, but life happens. And yeah, that is gonna be my evening. It's gonna be pretty chill and catching up on my fucking editing. I'm so behind. I think I've just struggled editing and wanting to edit because nothing exciting is happening and I've just been so unwell. There's not been anything that I've thought anyone's gonna want to watch, but I suppose this is my life at the moment. I am actually back at the doctor's tomorrow to have them listen to my chest because this infection is not completely gone and I've finished my antibiotics, and I swear to fucking God, if it comes back a third time, Menti Bs will be had. And I don't know how bad they're going to be, but I want to avoid finding out. Do you know what I mean? Back there tomorrow to see whether I need any more. I think they're not going to do it because my GP does the least. So it is a Tuesday. I did a terrible quads and delts session this morning. I say terrible, I mean I was short on time. I wanted to get in there and do something, before having to be back for my doctor's appointment. At the minute, I'm off work. I could have gone after, but I also can't guarantee how I'm going to be feeling. So I just got up and did what I could. And it was basic, but I moved and I did some cardio. So it's fine. I do want to get back into filming some training this week. But on like days like today, where it was just a bit shit, I don't want to watch that back. Went to the doctors, haven't come back with any more antibiotics, but I did see a locum dispenser and she was so thorough. She was so thorough with looking over me. She says that she essentially refuses to do phone appointments unless it's to talk over medication. If someone's symptomatic, she sees them. And she was horrified when I told her that, you know, the first person that I'd seen about my chest infection and all of the symptoms that I've had since the 4th of December was at the urgent treatment centre, and that people had just been prescribing me over the phone. She was fuming. She shared my feelings that this is not like a Barry Big Bollocks statement to make. I think it's quite straightforward. Really, at the minute, the duty of care, the level of care that I should be getting from the NHS, my GP, whatever, should be top notch because of my circumstances and being pregnant. And can't relate. So it was quite nice to just have a chat with her about that. Even though I came away with nothing, she checked my chest and it sounded really clear, so I'm happy. I've come back today since then and just started doing a little bit of shopping using my H&M voucher that I got for Christmas on very boring things like maternity pants that go over the bump, tights, leggings, boring. This afternoon my plan is to sit down and start putting together our baby wish list on Amazon. Like, our families have been really itching to buy us stuff. I've said no, I don't want anything, not until we're more in the clear, which I think is just I don't know, I couldn't put myself through the not only a loss but having to return things or look at them in the house. We also are moving and I don't want to have more shite around than I actually need. Just means more packing. So I've been holding off on buying stuff, but people are starting to ask, like, is there anything you need? And of course there's loads, but I'm going to start putting together a bit of a baby registry on Amazon for the things that you can pick up on there, so that they can all see what's been purchased. They also get a 15% discount, I think. And yeah, everything's just in one place for some of those bits. So that is my plan today. I've got an absolute raging PDF that my sister-in-law sent me of stuff that she bought. I've got things that I've made a note of, and I'll put it together. And if anyone, if anyone is watching this and they're pregnant and wants to see it, let me know. But that is the plan for the rest of the day. I also want to wash my hair. I would like to tan. It's New Year's Eve tomorrow and we're going out for a meal. Yeah, and just a little bit more self-care stuff. I've also started taking more care of my skin on my bump, and I'll show you what I'm using for that as well. I tell you what, it's so nice to get out on my steps and a walk in the fresh air without coughing my guts up. I've had to do them on the treadmill because I've just been so unwell, and I'm walking around and I'm not coughing, nothing's triggering my off, and it's just nice, something I probably take for granted. Okay, so the entrance to the kitchen currently looks like the kind of crash that you'd report because I'm trying to save Maggie's tail by using pipe insulation as a buffer. Aren't we, Maggie? Hello, it's Wednesday, is it? Yes, it's Wednesday, fucking hell. If we're not all doing that right now. It's Wednesday, I have started my day going to the dentist to have my teeth cleaned, which was fine. I'm so much better at going to the dentist now, probably because of all the work that I had done last year. It's bound to have that kind of effect, isn't it? I was going to pop on before I have my shower and just say, I bought these leggings by accident. The leggings, not so much of an accident, but the tall version was an accident. I said in a previous video that I was looking at getting some Gymshark Vital Seamless as some maternity leggings. They tend to expand with you because they've got such a stretchy waistline. Oh God, that's terrifying. But I accidentally bought the tall ones. Now, it's worked out very well because I can pull these right up to my boobs. I can pull them right up and they're so much more comfortable that way. And the tall are £13.50 at the moment on the website. So, you know, that's great. Probably will get some more. I think they're in this colour and the khaki colour. I then went to the gym, did the rest of my cardio, which was 20 minutes, and did all my steps for the day. So that feels good. Just about to start getting ready for our evening. The latest we could get a table reservation today was 4:30. I swear to God, not even when I was that much younger, but like very recently, please ignore any tan stains that you see on that towel. Even like the last few years, we've been able to get a table to go out for an evening meal on New Year's Eve. And it's been like a relatively normal time. Nowhere uphill in Lincoln was doing that this year. So it's an early turnaround for dinner. It's 2:20 now. Start getting ready. But what I was going to show you whilst I was in here were two of the things that I am currently using to try and avoid stretch marks. However, I think stretch marks are very much a genetic thing. You're either prone to them or you're not prone to them. It just is what it is. But saying that, I'm going to try my absolute best to avoid them. But if they happen, they happen. So I'm using the Burt's Bees Mama Nourishing Body Oil. And I'm using the Mamma Mio Omega Rich Stretch Mark Protection Cream, which is the Tummy Rub Butter. Picked up both of these off Amazon. They were recommended to me by a friend who is also pregnant at the moment. She's 4 days behind me in terms of her due date. I'm due on the 18th, she's due on the 22nd, which is amazing because I cannot tell you what a lifeline that has been for just bouncing ideas off each other. It's her second child, so it's so easy for her to give me advice, tell me what to buy, blah, blah, blah. And her friend has recently had a baby and has done a lot of research. So she's sending me things that like she highly rates, that she trusts. And actually, like, I feel like I'm going to get them anyway, but I will try whatever. So I'm using those on her recommendation. I have seen them before, definitely the Burt's Bees product anyway. Maybe not so much the Mamma Mio product, but Burt's Bees is a brand that I've come across more than whatever the fuck that is. I've never heard of it before. I'm going to give them a go and we'll see. We'll see. So I'm going to get in the shower and start getting ready. I think I'm going to have a steak tonight. I'm in a mood for steak. And it's a meaty texture. I'm good with my meats at the moment, as long as they've got some bite to them. If they're pulled, if they're soft, like if they're mince, if it was in like a taco, it would be an absolute no. But a meaty steak seems to be okay.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Hello, it's actually Friday. It's Friday. Hold on, I'm gonna turn off this murder documentary. Yesterday was New Year's Day. We spent the day with my family having the roast of all roasts, which was amazing. And then my best friend Aaron has come to stay with us for the weekend. So he's just upstairs now, but we have just been lying on the pillow and just relaxing. Like, he is the best therapy. The best therapy. So stupid. I didn't realise how much I really needed that right now. Really needed that right now. Andy's just out with Maggie. We are going to take a very slow getting ready. We've had breakfast and we're just going to have a very slow, chill couple of days. Go into town for a couple of drinks and grab some bits of shopping and whatever, and have a Chinese tonight, because that's what he wants. He's just got back from Australia and that's what he's craving. It was a very impromptu visit, but I didn't realise how much I needed it. I'm so glad he's here. Fucking idiot. So things to watch.
I just don't want it that bad.
So annoying.
No, right.
You done with it.
Not a fan?
No, I don't think so. You only get 2 reclining seats as well. It feels like a bit of a waste.
You tell him. Hello, it's Saturday. It is the Sundayest Saturday I think I've ever had. Aaron and I started our morning with a murder documentary and some coffee. We did the retail park trifecta of TK Maxx, Home Sense, Home Bargains, and also he helped me out is loose because it's Aaron, with some sofa shopping. And then we came home, chilled, watched another murder documentary, and now he is gone. So good to see him, and I'm just taking it easy tonight before I train tomorrow and then start with some more SIBO test prep, which I have on Monday. Which is really difficult for me at the minute because finding things to eat is hard, but mostly because everything that I'm going to be eating tomorrow is going to back me up to fuck, and I can't have my pears or any of my like old faithful helpful tools to make me feel comfortable. No coffee, no nothing. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to doing that again because it just feels like you're eating bread on top of bread, and who fucking wants that in their life? That is going to be tomorrow. Not looking forward to it. It's going to be a day of like taking the tree down and getting us prepped for going back to work whilst eating horrible stuff. So making the most of it this evening by having a little treat, chilling out, eating some leftover Chinese. Lovely.
Have to memorize all that?
No, you just read it from the toilet paper. And finally, you will allow Schmidt to buy you one.
Wow, how appetizing. Can't wait. It's Sunday, is actual Sunday rather than the Saturday that felt like a Sunday. And it is our last day of annual leave today. So there's like just an air of sadness in the house. We trained this morning. I had quite a disappointing session. My strength did drop off today. I'm hoping that is an isolated incident and isn't how training through pregnancy is going to go for the foreseeable. But if it is, that's just something I'll get over and get on with. This morning, I have been starting my prep for my SIBO test, which is tomorrow. Prior to training, I had my usual pre-workout, which is, at the minute, something quick and easy, rather than my oats that I would prefer to have. At the moment, that is a bagel with 15 grams of Biscoff, and I have a pear as well, just because those seasonal pears are helping my digestion out massively at the minute. So I have one of those, and then I actually packed up 70 grams of Cocoa Pops and a Bear Bells shake to take with me to the gym so that I could have something that I actually wanted post-workout. And I made sure that I got that in immediately post-training because I knew that after 10 o'clock, that's when I would be starting my prep for the test that I have tomorrow. And food today, it ain't great. It really isn't great. but it's just how it's going to have to be. I also made sure that I got in as much water as I possibly could this morning prior to 10, because I always have water with squash, and I'm not allowed squash either. So today's diet is going to be foods that just do not ferment in the gut. So it's really low fermentable foods. So I've had what have I had since getting home? I've had 2 slices of white bread, like the small Warburton's toasty, so they're about 82 calories a slice. I've had 2 sandwiches with a little bit of unsalted butter and turkey breast slices, which I'm allowed. There was a sprinkling of lactose-free cheese on there. And then I've just had this meal, which is 2 slices of that toast, again with a little bit of unsalted butter, 3 eggs, some more turkey slices in there to just give it a bit of fucking flavour, and a little bit of the lactose-free cheese again. My diet today will be white bread, eggs, turkey breast, chicken breast, maybe a baked potato later with tuna, but the tuna will have no mayo on it, and the jacket potato will have no skin on it. So literally the worst part of the jacket potato, because you only ever eat the jacket potato for the skin, don't you? Tell me that that's true, and that is just a universal thing. I'm not allowed to use any seasoning, no salt, no pepper, no coffee. So I'm not allowed a coffee today. I'm not allowed any squash, no chocolate, no sweets, no vegetables, no fruit. Had I been doing this just not pregnant, probably would have been a lot more manageable, but there's very little things that I fancy eating on that list. And fruit and veg, I've been getting as much in as I possibly can to help everything along. That's going to be the main focus of the day, unfortunately, is eating food that I don't want to eat. I've taken the tree down. I've gone for a walk. It's just going to be a relaxed going into Monday, where I'm back at work, but I'll barely be back at work. I've got 2 different hospital appointments tomorrow. And when I say 2 different hospital appointments, they're even at different hospitals. So there's going to be a little bit of travel in between those as well. My appointment for my SIBO test is actually at 11. However, I've been told that if I just turn up early and I've signed in, checked in, they'll fit me in. I don't know how much of that I believe, but I'm going to chance it anyway, because it'll take a couple of hours to do the test, and my next appointment is at 20 to 3, I think, at Grantham Hospital. So I've got a good half an hour, 40 minutes to travel from mine to get there. So I'm trying to play with the logistics as much as possible for tomorrow, but it's going to be a little bit bleak. Also, the sooner I get in there and do it, the sooner I can eat, because I have to fast tomorrow morning as well. It's 12 hours before my appointment, so after 10 I won't be having anything. I can only have water. Just not really ideal for a pregnant lady, but I'm not allowed to train in the morning, so there'll be no cardio, there'll be no gym. But I'm hoping that tomorrow will be the start of finally getting to the bottom of the bacterial overgrowth that I've got in my gut, because the results from the hydrogen test showed how bad the methane is. And tomorrow I'm strictly being tested for methane. And the hydrogen test is tested by glucose, but the methane test is tested with lactulose, and I react badly to that. So I'm intrigued to see what the actual levels of methane are over the course of the 2 hours that I'm there and all the testing that I do. God knows what my treatment will be after this with being pregnant, but hopefully we'll get some answers.